Okay, so we're under the kind of the midsection of the passenger side. As you see, it is crunchy. That's not good. There's not much left there. It's time to tackle some rust on this old Gen 1 Tacoma. Got a 98 Toyota Tacoma, 4-wheel drive, 3.4 liter 5-speed manual. Got the nice locking rear diffs and everything in back. But it's suffering, like many other Yotas its age, some rust issues on the frame. I got these bunch of these fancy pants sleeves to weld on. First we got to get rid of the rust that's on there. Weapon of choice today is going to be an air hammer. Got various attachments such as this needle scaler. Attaches right on there, vibrates the rust right off. This really digs in there and gets those big chunks out. So I'm going to go ahead, fire up the air compressor. Gonna try to make a little bit of progress today, and then I'll give you an update. That was once my truck. Made some progress yesterday. Got it all chipped, grinded down. Got a rust converter on there. This is looking pretty good. Gooder. Work on the passenger side first. And I'm just getting prepped here on this side. Doing something that's kind of questionable, of course. I got my fluid film layered on there and on the inside. I tried to go below the level of where the welds are going to be. Did the same thing here. Might catch everything on fire. I don't know. We'll find out. Not advisable, but if it works, that would be fantastic. So what I'm going to do here is get this slid in place. Gonna wipe it down best I can. And then start welding on it. Let me show you the... I got that fluid film all up in there. Hoping that does the trick. Got it on the bottom rail here. Alright, that's what it looks like when it's fitted on. It's a very tight fit. That I didn't align that perfect because there's a little bit of a gap on the other side here, right there, and I tried to cover that up the best that I could. If you can see that. Got nice little holes down here to weld to. A little bit of a gap here. I'll see if I can crush that in a little bit. Got the one piece welded on. Today's project is lift the truck up, pull the leaf spring off. I got a piece that fits over this and over this, and then a new shock mount or a new spring mount to weld onto. So the frame almost looks strong enough until you look on the inside. And I got it all cut open there because it was rusting out. So that's what is going to be covered with this new piece. And I'll show you that when it's all in. Got that piece welded on there, cut it where I said I was going to cut it so I can fit around the spring mount there. And that's what the other side looks like. Get all the way down. Super difficult to weld the further you get under the frame, as you can imagine. I got this little piece here. I may cut this, pound it in, and weld it just to block that hole that's down in there. That's where all the dirt's gonna get in. This is the next piece we're gonna be welding on. I just notched it here. So you have to notch it for that top part of the bump stop right there. It measures about 4.5 inches. Go ahead and cut that. It's already notched for the hardware for your cross support and your shock mount. And this is going to take care of this soft spot. And my soft spot's down there. So I'm going to go ahead and prep the surface. Get this prepped up. Get it fitted. And start welding it on. We're making some progress. Look at this. So I got this piece all welded on all the way around. Fit nicely. Welded on pretty straightforward. Just had to make that one little cut right there. And it's good to go. Got my 2.5 inch lift new skyjacker on. Got the new shackle on. And it does make the truck on this side sit a little bit higher than the other side. The other side looks like it has more springs on it even. Maybe someone who put a helper spring on there at some point, but they're just old and tired. And it does feel noticeably stiffer on this side than it does this side. And it even gave my front end an extra little inch lift. So I have one more bit of hardware to put on. And I got new U-bolts and all the hardware and everything in a 3-inch lift kit that I bought on Amazon, which is where I got the springs from, for like 80 bucks. Now I'm contemplating putting on this rough country 3-inch lift. It's got the 2-inch blocks in back and a, I don't know if that's quite a 3-inch spacer, hopefully a 1-inch spacer, but either way, got the spacer for the front. And I was considering not doing the lift and just using the bolts, but now that I'm here, I think I'm going to do the lift. This is the rough country lift kit. So you want to put the small end forward, so it'll sit like this. You can see it's tapered. High end, low end. Low end goes to the front end of the truck. Probably should have showed it to you before I hit it with a coat of spray paint. But I got a piece of flat bar there, 2-inch. Wanted a 2.5, but all I could find was 2-inch in town. 2-inch wide, 1/8 inch thick. And then I got 3-inch wide, 3/16 thick. Use my plasma cutter to blast out some holes for the hardware. Went ahead and put the 2-inch block on. The U-bolts were a little long, so cut them short enough. And the block was really easy to put in there. All that goop is fluid film that I got in between to help keep it from rusting. It was really easy to install. I just used the block in the jack under the frame, lifted the whole thing up, and I was able to slip that 2-inch block right in. They say use like a series of jacks and things. Take off your tire, support the axle, jack up the frame, lower the axle, then put in the block. But if you got a big enough block there and a jack, just lift the whole freaking thing up and you'll be able to clear that space. Looks pretty good. Definitely gave it some more lift up front as well. But of course, when we put the bed and the canopy on, it's gonna absorb some of that. But I do have a helper spring to put on there that should give like another 500 pounds or 1,000, maybe it's 500 pounds per side. I can't remember. Maybe it's 250 pounds per side and 500 pounds total. Either way, that should help keep that lift up a little bit. So then I'm loaded down with gear and got everything in there, and I'm out trailing around that I don't lose too much height. I can still keep all my clearance. But the passenger side is now done. I'm going to go ahead and pull the truck out all the way, sweep up all of the crap under there, get a relatively clean working space, at least not like full of rust and weld powder and shit. Sweep that out, and then I'm going to pull the truck closer over to this side so that I have more clearance on that side to start working, and then I'll drop that fuel tank, start removing lines and stuff off of the frame, and then I'll clean up that frame where the fuel tank is, and then we'll start welding on that as well and start making our way back. So that's the update for today. I'm gonna wash up, go get some food.